Hello all, have a good day. And today we'll be learning preference shares part. So we have learned the last few weeks about the issue of equity shares and preference shares, underwritings. Now we will be learning on preference shares and different methods of preference shares. So how the preference shares are redeemed, how it is gets connected with the financial statement. So all these things we'll be learning in today's lecture. So what is redemption first of all? So redemption is the process of repaying an obligation. If you have an obligation, so how are you going to sort out those obligations? That process is called as redemption. It is at pre-arranged amounts and timing. So this redemption always takes at pre-arranged amounts and timings. It is a contract giving the right to redeem preference shares within or at the end of a given time period at an agreed price. So the contract gets established between the company and the preference shareholders as soon as you allot the preference shareholders. These shares are issued on the terms that shareholders will at a future date be repaid the amount which they invested in the company, along with the frequent payment of a specified amount as return on investment during the tenure of the preference shares. So here, each preference share will carry the dividend preference, and each preference share will print the certificate number along with that preference of dividend, preference of redemption. So all these things used to be mentioned. And then what is the time period for redemption? What is the agreed price for redemption? So everything used to be mentioned in the preference share certificate itself at the time of issue. So what happens? The redemption date is a maturity date, which specifies when the repayment takes place and is usually printed on the preference share certificate also. Through the process of redemption, a company can also adjust its financial structure. For example, by eliminating preference shares and replacing those with other form of securities. If future growth of the company makes such a change advantageous. In the initial stage, the company may claim the funds from the public in the name of preference share. Later, as soon as they redeem, their present value of that company will increase like anything. Hence, the value of the firm will increase in the market. So, preference shares becomes as a leveraging point to improve the value of the company in the future. That's why the company prefers to issue preference shares and redeem it after some time. And some people used to issue preference shares. Later, it used to be converted into the form of equity shares. So those we call that as convertible preference shares. But here, in this chapter, particularly in our syllabus, we will be focusing on the redemption of preference shares. Hence, we will be focusing on only one type, that is redeemable preference shares. Now, let me invite your attention to learn the purpose of issuing redeemable preference share. That is most important to know. Otherwise, we will be learning blunderly without having any reason. A company may issue redeemable preference shares because it is a proper way of raising funds in a dull primary market. So if your value of the market or if your value of the firm in the market is so dull, it's not prestigious, then issue of preference share is a proper way of raising funds. And also it is highly advantageous when a company may face difficulty in raising share capital as its shares are not traded on the stock exchange. All the companies' shares are not traded in stock exchange. Only listed company shares are traded in the stock exchange. Hence, a company, when they would like to raise funds through the share capital, it would be difficult since their shares are not traded on the stock exchange. Potential investors hesitate to put money into the shares that cannot easily be sold since they are not in the stock market. Hence, this type of companies may be encouraged to invest. This type of shareholders, this type of people may be encouraged to invest if the shares are redeemable by the company. And the people who like to invest in a better way to get dividend, they also prefer preference share capital, which are redeemable in nature. The preference shares may be redeemed when there is a surplus of capital, and the surplus funds cannot be utilized in the business for profitable use. In India, the issue and redemption of preference shares is governed by Section 55 of the Companies Act 2013. So from this part alone, the purpose of issuing redeemable preference shares, from this part alone, we can expect multiple choice questions. Say for example, the issue and redemption of preference shares is governed by DAS in India. So that would be the answer would be most of the students will take like company accounts, company act, corporate accounting, something they will write, but the answer is Section 55 of the Companies Act. And the other purpose of issuing preference shares, redeemable preference shares, the purpose, there are three statements, and there would be a statement validation question model. Say for example, statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. So they may have three statements. We are expected to validate the statement based on understanding of the purpose of issuing redeemable preference shares. So it is a best way to raise funds in the dull market. Point number 1. Point number 2. The companies used to face difficulty in raising share capital. Potential investor used to hesitate because it cannot be sold in the right away in the market itself. So the redeemable preference shares would give the company a leverage to sell to the public in any city. Then the redeemable preference shares used to be redeemed out of the surplus of capital or surplus funds cannot be used for the business for profitable use. So now let me take you all on the provisions of the Companies Act under Section 55 with respect to the redemption of preference shares. A company limited by shares, if so authorized by its articles, may issue preference shares, which at the option of the company. It's not compulsory one, it's option of the company. The company are liable to be redeemed within the period which is specified in the preference share certificate itself, and it should not exceed 20 years from the date of their issue. If it exceeds, then severe action will be taken by the company law board on the company which exceeding 20 years without redeeming the preference shares. And it should be noted that no shares can be redeemed except out of profit of the company. This otherwise be available for dividend or out of proceeds of fresh issue of shares made for the purpose of redemption. And we also need to note that no such shares can be redeemed unless they are fully paid. So two things need to be focused. One is the redemption out of profit of the company, which would otherwise be available for dividend, or out of proceeds of first issue of the shares, can be used for the purpose of redemption. The second, fully paid up preference shares only can be redeemed, and if there is a failure in the paid up value of the preference shares, maybe first call or second call in between the allotment or some money, then it would be forfeited, it cannot be redeemed. It also to be noted, in case of such class of companies where it is not fully paid, as may be prescribed, and whose financial statements comply with the accounting standards prescribed for such class of companies, which is specified under section 133, that is the premium, if any, payable on redemption shall be provided out of the profits of the company before the shares are redeemed. Provided also that premium, if any, payable on redemption of any preference shares issued on or before the commencement of this Act by any such company shall be provided for out of the profits of the company or out of the company's securities premium account before such shares are redeemed. In case of other companies not falling under subsection 1 of the above, and the premium, if any, payable on redemption shall be provided out of the profits of the company or out of the company's securities premium account before such shares are redeemed. It also to be noted that where any such shares are proposed to be redeemed out of the profits of the company, there, out of the profits which would otherwise have been available for dividend, be transferred to a reserve account. That reserve account we call in corporate accounting as capital redemption reserve account. It is a sum equal to the nominal amount of the shares redeemed, and the provisions of the Act relating to the reduction of the share capital of a company. It shall, except as provided in the section, apply as if the capital redemption reserve account were the paid up share capital of the company. Hence, the utilization of capital redemption reserve account is further restricted to issuance of fully paid up bonus shares only. From these legal provisions outlined just now, it is apparent that on the redemption of redeemable preference shares, out of the accumulated profit will be necessary to transfer to the capital redemption reserve account an amount equal to the amount repaid on the redemption of preference shares on account of face value, less proceeds of the first issue share capital made for the purpose of redemption. The object is that with the repayment of redeemable preference share, the security for creditors, bankers should not be reduced. So at that time, a part of the preference share capital may be redeemed out of accumulated profits, and the balance out of a fresh issue only. So this is a crisp of the provisions of the Companies Act, that is under section 55, laid out for the purpose of redeeming the preference shares only. So the detailed explanation is made available. Please go through that, and let me take you to the fourth point, which means the methods of redemption of preference shares. So what are the methods to be in the redemption of preference shares? So the next slide I will clearly say you about the redemption of preference shares means repayment by the company of the obligation on account of shares issued. According to the Companies Act 2013, preference shares issued by a company must be redeemed within the maximum period, and that is specifically stated as 20 years allowed under the Act. Thus, a company cannot issue redeemable preference shares. Section 55 of the Companies Act 2013 deals with the provisions relating to redemption of preference shares. It also ensures that there is no reduction in shareholders' funds due to the redemption, and thus the interest of outsiders is not affected because of the redemption. For this, it requires that either first issue of shares is made or distributable profits are retained or transferred to capital redemption reserve on time. The rationality behind these provisions is to protect the interest of outsiders to whom the amount is payable before the redemption of preference share capital. The interest of outsiders is protected if the nominal value of capital redeemed is substituted, thus ensuring the same amount of shareholders' funds. In case of redemption of preference shares out of proceeds of a fresh issue of shares, then a replacement of capital and the particular tangible assets are obvious. But if redemption is done out of the distributable profits, then replacement of capital is ensured in an indirect manner by the retention of profit by transfer to capital redemption reserve account. In this case, the amount which would have gone to the reserve holders in the form of dividend is retained in the business and is used for settling the claim of preferential holders. Thus, there is no additional claim on net assets of the company. The transfer of divisible profits to the capital redemption reserve makes them non-distributable profit, not possible to distribute for a dividend purpose, specifically for that. And as the capital redemption reserve can be used only for issue of fully paid bonus shares. Here, the profits retained in the business ultimately get converted into the share capital. The security coverage available to outside stakeholders depends upon the called up capital as well as the uncalled capital to the demanded by the company as per its requirements. To ensure that the interest of outsiders are not reduced, Section 55 provides for redemption of only fully paid up shares. So for this, it can be concluded that the gap created in the company's capital by the redemption of redeemable preference shares must be filled in by the proceeds of a first issue of shares. Second, the capitalization of undistributed profit, and a combination of either first issue of shares or the capitalization of undistributed profit. So here these are the three methods of redemption of preference shares. Now let me take you to learn the next thing about the redemption of preference shares by way of fresh issue of shares. One of the methods for redemption of preference shares is to use the proceeds of the first issue of shares. A company can issue new shares, and that could be equity shares or preference shares, and the proceeds from such new shares can be used for redemption of preference shares. The proceeds from issue of debentures cannot be utilized for the purpose. Please make a note, this is expected in the multiple choice question. The proceeds from the issue of debentures cannot be utilized for the purpose. A problem arises when your first issue is made for the purpose of redemption of preference shares at a premium. So when you issue a new share at a premium only for the purpose of redeeming the preference share, so then we need to focus on the accounting point of view also. The point to ponder is that whether the proceeds of the first issue of shares will include the amount of securities premium for the purpose of redemption of preference shares. For securities premium account, Section 52 of the Companies Act 2013 provides that the securities premium account may be applied by the company. Either one of these ways. There are 5 ways you can use that securities premium account. One is towards the issue of unissued shares of the company, which have to be issued to members of the company as fully paid bonus securities. Second, to write off the preliminary expenses of the company. Third, to write off the expenses of or commission paid or discount allowed on any of the securities or debentures of the company. So there is no specification. Any security if you issue, to write off those expenses or commission or discount allowed thereon, you can write off. Next, to provide for premium on the redemption of redeemable preference shares or debentures of the company. So we can use that premium account for the premium on the redemption of redeemable preference shares or debentures, either the case may be. The fifth one is for the purchase of its own shares from the open market or other securities from the open market. So we can use the securities premium account. So there used to be a multiple choice question with respect to this, where the securities premium account can be utilized at the time of the redeemable preference shares, which the equity shares were issued at the time of redeemable preference shares. So for this purpose, this particular lecture will be helpful for you. If maybe noted that certain class of companies whose financial statements comply with the accounting standards as prescribed under Section 133 of the Companies Act 2013, it cannot apply the securities premium account for the purposes of either to provide a premium for redemption or to write off the preliminary expenses of the company. This is most important to be noted. So all the questions which arise from this chapter have been solved on the basis of that company referred or governed by Section 133 of the Companies Act 2013 and comply with the accounting standards prescribed for them. Accordingly, the balance in securities premium account has not been utilized for the purpose of premium payable on the redemption of preference shares. Any other way except the above prescribed ways in which securities premium account is utilized will be in contravention of law. Thus, the proceeds of a first issue of shares will not be include the amount of securities premium for the purpose of redemption of preference shares. Now, we will be learning the reasons for issue of new equity shares for the purpose of redemption. That's the first part. We are still in the first part. Please don't jump though to the next one. A company may prefer issue of new equity shares for few reasons. Reason 1, when the company has come to realize that the capital is needed permanently, and it makes more sense to the issue of equity shares in place of redeemable preference shares, which carry a fixed rate of dividend. The second reason is that when the balance of profit which would otherwise be available for dividend is insufficient, so at that time they may go for issue of new equity shares for the purpose of redemption. The third situation, or third reason for the new issue of equity shares for the redemption of preference share is that when the liquidity position of the company is not good enough, so during that time they may go for the new issue of equity shares. Now let us learn what are the advantages and disadvantages of redeeming the preference share by the issue of equity shares. The first and foremost advantage is that no cash outflow of money, either now or later. That is a great benefit, no? The next is the new equity shares may be valued at a premium. Please make a note, may be valued at a premium. So the premium amount becomes as an extra benefit to the company. The third great advantage is that the shareholders retain their equity interest. Since the money is not going outflow, the entire money is going to be rotated. Hence, the shareholders retain their equity interest, the preference shareholders. But however, this has few disadvantages also. The issue of equity shares for the purpose of redemption of preference shares has two important disadvantages. One is there will be a dilution of future earnings. Yes, there will be dilution of future earnings because the future earnings have to be segregated to the issued shareholders also. Second disadvantage is that shareholding in the company is always changed. So with these two great disadvantages, the companies may prefer to issue new shares, fresh equity shares on the redemption of preference shares, only carrying the advantages of those. Now, let me take you to learn what are the accounting entries. We will go through the accounting entries when the new shares are issued. So when the new shares are issued at par, the journal entry would be bank account debited to share capital account. But when the new shares are issued at a premium, then bank account debited to share capital account to securities premium account. So this is the same as we have seen in the previous chapter, in the previous lecture, on the issue of equity shares. Same journal entry, no difference. But this third entry is that when the preference shares are redeemed at par, then the redeemable preference share capital account debited to preference share capital account. Redeemable preference share capital account debited to preference shareholders account. The fourth important entry is when the preference shares are redeemed at a premium, then redeemable preference share capital account debited, premium on redeemable preference share account debited to preference shareholders account. When the payment is made to preference shareholders, then preference shareholders account debited to bank account. And for adjustment of premium on redemption, the journal entry would be profit and loss account debited to profit on redemption of preference shares account. So, these six formal journal entries need to be made at the time of the redemption of preference shares and by making fresh issue of equity shares. So now, with this idea in the background, I request you to solve some of the sums one by one. So next we will be focusing on a problem, right? Only on the fresh issue of shares. So later we will go on the next method, which is given in the screen now, capitalization of undistributed profit. The third one, combination of both fresh issue of shares as well as capitalization of undistributed profit. So we have a detailed discussion on this. When we make fresh issue, then what are the journal entries? When we capitalize the undistributed profit, then what type of reserve is created? That is capital redemption reserve. And if we do both, then we need to have fresh issue of shares entry also, as well as capital redemption reserve creation entry also. So that's how we need to proceed. By combining all these things, now we will be moving forward to solve a sum, a model sum. So let me have few model sums in the class itself, and similarly we may solve in upcoming days. So the question now states that. So what is the question? Do you see the question now? Yes, the screen is visible. Hinduja Company Limited had 5,008% redeemable preference shares of rupees 100 each, fully paid up. The company decided to redeem these preference shares at par by the issue of sufficient number of equity shares of rupees 10 each, which are fully paid up at par. Now, we are required to pass journal entries which are necessary for this transaction, including the cash transaction in the books of the company. Right. Now, so this is about the entire thing about the question. Now let me brief about this question. So Hinduja Company is a company. They already have. Some students used to mistake and they used to start journal entry for the issue of these preference shares. No, we don't need to do that. They already had 1,000 redeemable preference shares with 8% dividend rate of rupees 100 each, which means 5 lakhs worth of money they have in their balance sheet. 5 lakhs worth of preference share capital they have in their balance sheet. The company is decided to redeem these preference shares at par, which means they need to pay 100 rupees to each preference share holder. So for that, they will be issuing the sufficient number of equity shares of rupees 10 each, fully paid at par. So what are they going to do now? Fully paid at par. So this means for redeeming those 5,000 redeemable preference shares, the company is issuing 50,000 equity shares. Are you able to follow this from this question? Are you able to pick up this from this particular question? Because redeemable preference share face value is rupees 100. So they have 5,000 preference shares, total amount 5 lakhs. Whereas the company is expected to issue 10 rupees preference, 10 rupees equity shares at par, fully paid up at par. So fully paid up at par. So what happens now? So 100 rupees preference shares are redeemed by the first issue of the rupees 10 rupees equity shares. So the company is expected to issue 50,000 equity shares to get those 5 lakhs, and from that amount we can redeem it. So this is how the redemption have to be carried out for the sum. But for this purpose, list out or have a flow chart. Have a flow chart. Which step comes first, and then what is the second step, what is the third step, and then accordingly we frame your journal entries. Don't go to the few years back to the, because some students I used to see, some students used to come out with the answer for issue of redeemable preferences, then redemption. But here it is specifically saying the Hinduja Company Limited had 5,008% preference. They already had. So now we need to have the entries only for the issue of equity shares and then redemption of existing preferences. Okay. So let us go through the solution part one by one. Now, first is that redemption will take place or issue will take place. Issue of equity shares will take place or redemption of preference shares will take place. And I know from your words in the comment box under the YouTube link. Yes, that is most important. So now, what is going to be first? Yes, the first is going to be the issue of equity shares, because unless otherwise it is issued, you will not get safe enough money to make redemption. So if the issued shares are not taken over by few shareholders, then what to do? Then we need to go for combination method, both adjustable profit as well as the proceeds. So to decide that, the company always proceeds toward the issue of equity shares first. So the entry would be bank account debited to equity share capital account. Being the issue of 50,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each at par for the purpose of redemption of preference shares. So this used to be done as per the board resolution number and date. So new issues cannot be made just like that. They need to pass a resolution, board resolution. So they need to make a number, board resolution number. So the entry would be bank account debited to equity share capital account, rupees 5 lakhs in debit and rupees 5 lakhs in the credit. So which means 50,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. Second, due entry for the redeemable preference shares. Due entry to be first for the redemption of preference shares. One is the due entry is 8% redeemable preference share capital account debited rupees 5 lakhs to preference shareholders account rupees 5 lakhs. Here, the amount payable on redemption of preference shares transferred to preference shareholders account. The next, the preference shareholders account debited to bank account, which means through the issue of shares we got amount. So that amount is transferred to preference shareholders. So now let me call your attention because you might have not taken note of the detailed journal entry as per the format due to my flow of lecture, little fast flow of lecture, but you must have at least observed the key points. Now I will show you the answer, the journal entry answer. Right? This helps you to write in your notebook as well as understand in a better way. So that's a great point that we are going to have a nice moment. So now I will reveal the answer to you. Quickly you will go through and take a screenshot that and then write in your notebook. The answer is bank account debited to equity share capital account 5 lakhs. Write the narration properly. Then 8% redeemable preference share capital account debited to preference shareholders account. This is the due entry to the preference shareholder for the purpose of redemption. Rupees 5 lakhs. Please make a note. The board resolution number date have to be mentioned in the narration. You also need to mention the number of shares in the narration so that in future if you refer, it will be helpful for you to understand. The next is the next important thing is that payment entry to the preference shareholders. So preference shareholders account debited to bank account rupees 5 lakhs each. Rupees 5 lakhs each. So make the narration. Make the proper narration because this amount for redemption is taken from the issue of equity shares, from the fresh issue of equity shares. So this makes you to understand in a little broad way. I hope you are copying the answer in your notebook properly. So otherwise it will be difficult for you in the future to cover that particular question. So from these multiple choice questions definitely expected in every week is posted in this fine platform. So here the multiple choice question please focus the everything from this point of view. Now I will take you to the next model sum. The issue of preference shares or redemption of preference shares through the first issues at a premium. So here C Limited had 10,000, C Limited had 10,000, 10% redeemable preference shares of ₹100 each. So take the summary of this question, that is most important. It's not only reading the question. So with this, the issue of premium, we are required to pass necessary journal entries, including cash transaction to the books of the company. So here the term including cash transaction is a default. Even if it is not stated, we need to include it. So cash transaction has to be entered, so then only you can redeem the preference. So now the summary of this note states that C Limited 10,000 redeemable preference shares of 100 each, they are expected to be redeemed. So redeem that part. So now the equity shares have to be issued at a premium. Then how many shares to be issued? How many shares to be issued? So to redeem 10 lakhs worth of preference shares, we need to issue 10 lakhs worth of equity shares. But here, the share value is only ₹10. Face value of the share is ₹10. So that means the company is expected to issue 1 lakh equity shares. Since the premium amount is there, do not reduce the number of shares. Number of equity shares. Premium is an extra charge. Right? So you need to divide only by the face value. So 10 lakhs you need to get to redeem the preference shares. So 10 lakhs divided by 10. You will get 1 lakh number of equity shares to be issued for the purpose of redemption. So now, what is that most important is we need to focus on the solution part in the same way what we have solved in the previous model. But only extra thing is that the new issue of equity shares for the purpose of redemption is made at a premium. Is made at a premium. So then what is going to be? So what would be the equity journal entry? So let me open the journal entry. Please focus that in the books of C Limited, the journal entries falls in place. First, issue of equity shares. So bank account debited to equity share capital account and to securities premium account, because in this sum we have premium, securities premium or premium on issue of equity shares. This is called as securities premium. So here 1 lakh equity shares issued at rupees 10. So the face value of equity share capital is 10 lakhs, whereas the security premium is rupees 2 per share. So for 1 lakh shares, it's going to be 2 lakhs. So how much money we will receive? We will receive 2 lakhs. So that's why bank account debited rupees 12 lakhs and to equity share capital account. Through the issue of equity share capital account, we get 10 lakhs, and to securities premium account, through the charging extra amount on the issue of equity shares, 2 rupees each, we get rupees 2 lakhs. So total amount we will be receiving 12 lakhs. So that is the part. Next, 10% redeemable preference share capital account debited to preference shareholders account, that is rupees 10 lakhs. So being the amount payable on redemption of preference shares transferred to preference shareholder account, this is called as due entry. So this has to be 10 lakhs. Some students will get confused that the premium amount need to be redeemed, need to be used for redemption. No, it's not needed. So you don't get confused with that 2 lakhs. That 2 lakhs will be maintained in the balance sheet of that company even after redemption. Right? So now the due entry need to be passed. After the due entry only, we need to go for payment entry. So what is the payment entry? Preference shareholder account debited to bank account, rupees 10 lakhs. So please note here also the securities premium account which we have collected 2 lakhs extra on the first issue of shares are not used, are not supposed to be used for the purpose of redemption. So here the amount required for redemption is rupees 10 lakhs only. Therefore, the face value of equity shares to be issued for this purpose must be equal to rupees 2 lakhs. Premium received on new issue cannot be used to finance the redemption of preference shares. I hope you understand this better, and now let me reveal you the solution part. So till now I explained what are the journal entries to be passed for the purpose of redemption, along with the first issue of equity shares. A similar way we need to follow for the discount also. So we are not going to solve the discount model sum. So since premium model is one model, similarly we follow the discount model sum. So now let me take you to the solution part, final solution part. See the solution. Bank account debited rupees 12 lakhs to equity share capital account rupees 10 lakhs to securities premium account rupees 2 lakhs. And write the narration in detail. So being the issue of 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of rupees 2 per share, as per the board's resolution number and date. The second journal entry, as we have discussed earlier, 10% redeemed preference shares account debited to preference share capital account, 10% redeemable preference shares capital account debited to preference shareholders account rupees 10 lakhs, being the amount payable on redemption of preference shares transferred to preference shareholders account. Then third and last journal entry is preference shareholders account debited rupees 10 lakhs to bank account. Rupees 10 lakhs being the amount paid on the redemption of preference shares. So hope you understand the language and the flow of pattern better, and I request you to copy the answers in your notebook. Similarly, we'll proceed the next model sums in the upcoming class, particularly the redemption and the creating capital redemption reserve account, as well as the preparing balance sheet. So there is a full-fledged model in the redemption of preference shares that we will deal in the upcoming class. Have a good and wonderful weekend and happy learning to you all. And I request you all to key on multiple choice questions attending the quizzes, which used to be released every week on the same platform. So that counts for your internal mark. So without that, your mark will be less, even if you attend only the internal exam. So with this, let me start my lecture with respect to redemption of preference shares, the basic model sums. Thank you. Have a good day.